Alpesh, the CEO at Profinium Partners. My voice went up when I said Philip Hammond has predicted the UK economy will grow by 2%.
Whole percent. It is very exciting. Actually, you're referring to the budget, of course. It is exciting. Normally, budgets are absolute snooze fest, but I tell you which bit was exciting. I looked for the exciting bit. The exciting bit is this. Looked in the Middle East papers, the international papers. What does the rest of the world make of this budget? And the headline was, Brexit yet to impact growth. It's been astounding that we've got this huge political event, economic event going on, yet British growth is set to continue.
Can I just say something, though? The event hasn't started.
The market doesn't, as you know, market works on anticipation and expectation. So for the markets, it's happened. It's already started. Just look at the price of the, just look at the pound rate. And that's been part of the good news. I have a role with the UK government's Department of International Trade. We're so busy with the exports. And the reason is the pound is at, 20-year lows, 25-year lows, I lose track. So it's been great in terms of, for the economy, in that it's not been anywhere near as bad as expected. If anything, there's been a bit of a move upwards. And I think the only thing with the budget is he should have borrowed money, should have borrowed like crazy, because the UK government at the moment is so trusted, you can borrow at about 1% and not have to pay it back, well, pretty much ever.
Just to say, the pound ticked up a little bit during his speech, which is interesting. And also we must as well say, Alpesh, for those watching us thinking, hang on a minute, that weak pound is a disaster for me. Those companies where they are importing bits that they put in the stuff that they then sell, if that makes sense.
Remember, it's better for the economy to be more export-led than import-led.
But aren't we net importers, though?
We are, and we shouldn't be, because the pound was overvalued. We want to be net exporters. It means a surplus of our own currency against foreign currency, and we're having to pay it back.
But that we need to put in things like the cars that are made in, I'm
not saying all imports are bad. What I'm saying is a shift towards our exporters, away from some of the importing, is a good thing. Viva the exporters, the British companies who are exporting. We don't just want to be sucking in things from around the world. No country does. So yes, it's a bit tougher for importers. In actual fact, good. We want it to be better for our exporters, and more British companies that export around the world means more jobs in those sectors. Okay, in those sectors, those exporting sectors. So it has been positive in rebalancing the economy. That's got very little to do with the Chancellor. It's got far more to do with those companies just getting on with business.
Okay, so let's bring a few Islamic State group strings together. What happened in Kabul? Almost 40 people being killed at the largest military hospital. IS engaging with security forces in Kabul for the first time. IS planting a bomb on a train in India. Having their territory reduced in Syria and Iraq seems to be taking them further abroad and launching these kind of attacks.
They've always had global ambitions. With India and the train attack, which, as I understand it, is the first ISIS-led attack in India. Of course, India just drives ISIS crazy because you've got, first of all, the world's largest democracy. You've got 350 million Muslims largely living in peace. You've had Muslim presidents in India. I mean, if you're an Islamic fundamentalist and you see a bunch of Muslims living happily in a democracy, you're going to go nuts. So, if anything, it's a credit probably to the Indian intelligence services that there's not been ISIS attacks earlier. But there have been Islamic fundamentalist attacks and there have been nationalist attacks. The Indian government will tell you the nationalist attacks which they source from Pakistan. So terrorism has been a problem in India for a long time. ISIS just adds to all of that, and like I said, it drives a lot of people crazy when you've got a democracy and you've got 350 million Muslims living relatively happily within that. So it's going to continue, sadly, and I just hope, I hope it's the last one, but I hope those intelligence agencies continue doing the good work they've done up until now, because it's been surprising it's taken this long for ISIS to do one.
In Europe, not obviously the same issue, but it's linked. I mean, the Paris school race riots hand an election boost to Le Pen is the headline in the Times. This is 50 teenagers under arrest yesterday after, gangs of school pupils were running riot in their various schools.
Yeah.
Teachers barricaded in classrooms. Yeah. That's the picture we're told. This is in the suburbs of North Paris.
Yeah, and it says race on that. I think we can read between the lines and work out what the newspapers are saying. What Marine Le Pen will talk about is Muslims. That's what she's going to focus on. And you remember with the US election, Donald Trump constantly mentioning, oh, there's problems in Paris, even sometimes when there weren't issues, now there are. And I think Marine Le Pen will do exactly the same. And we're looking at a large probability of a surprise election victory, because things like this will just play into it. And she'll work with Trump. We're going to do a ban, and we're going to stamp it out, and so on and so forth. So yes, it's not one story leading after the other. It's going to play into her hands, and you might see a right-wing leader in France.
We should have had you here next Thursday, because that'll be the day that we know who's going to be the next Prime Minister of the Netherlands, of course. Okay, ever been to a Muslim country and woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning because of the call to prayer?
No, I haven't actually.
You must have done.
No, actually,
in India,
I just got back from Dubai, and I didn't have that. In India,
you had very good air conditioning.
In India, it's just noisy 24/7. Forget the calls to prayer or anything. It's just noisy.
See, I think there's one at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And quite often I'll be in an air-conditioned room because these countries are hot, so I don't hear it that much.
Yeah.
But actually it's kind of soothing to my ear. But in Israel, this is contentious. The thing is, microphones haven't existed forever. The call to prayer has been, it's lasted centuries.
I tell you what I find funny about this story. Let's do a funny Muslim story, because the others weren't.
Yeah.
What I find funny is, so they're banning, or there's a bill to ban the call to prayer, because it happens 5 times a day, and like you say, microphones, all the rest of it. But some of the people calling the ban have said, no, it's not against the Muslims. Presumably it's against any religion which has 5 calls to prayer from outside mosques. And I was thinking to myself, it's just like the travel ban in the US. It's not against the Muslims. Anybody who comes from a Muslim country and the banning the burqa, that's not against the Muslims. It's any religion. As long as you're wearing a burqa, you're banned. So I don't think that argument is going to succeed. I suspect the volume's been turned up in Israel today, every mosque, on those, and I think the call to prayer is about to get a lot louder.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, finally.
The chips are down.
I think I've seen the story before,
down, apparently.
To be fair to the women who apparently, according to this study, and I wanted to be the researcher who gets to eat all day long with women anyway, what do you think men do?
Yes.
I bet, suck in the stomach, sort of puff with the hair and all the rest of it. So apparently women don't eat chips in front of good-looking men, and men in front of good-looking women, or anyway, whichever gender you're attracted to. I'm sure there'll be lots of... What I want to know is, who the heck funds this, and to what end? To what end?
And we end with a question. Alpesh, thank you.